Okay, so I just saw a video by Rob Christian where he talks about Ahmed Deedat's death. Now, this video Rob Christian uh, posted came out in 2021. So even in the 2020s, Christians are still mocking the death of Ahmed Deedat. Now, Ahmed Deedat died when he was 87 years old. He got a stroke he got the stroke diagnosis when he was 80 years old or 81 years old. I can't remember, but Ahmed Deedat. My point is, Ahmed Deedat died when he was 87 years old. 87 years old is a it's an old age, right? Now compare this with Nabeel Qureshi. Nabeel Qureshi got his cancer diagnosis at a young age of 32 years old. He died 2 years later in 2018. So Nabeel Qureshi died when he was 34 years old. Ahmed Deedat died when he was 87 years old. Do you see the difference here? Ahmed Deedat was advancing in age. He was 87 years old when he died, and he got the diagnosis of his stroke diagnosis when he was 80 or 81 years old. Nabeel Qureshi died when he was 34 years old after being diagnosed 2 years prior. So you see the difference. Nabeel Qureshi died younger, while Ahmed Deedat died at a old age. Now do you see the difference here? Ahmed Deedat was well in his 80s when he was diagnosed with his stroke diagnosis. Nabeel Qureshi got cancer out of nowhere. Nabeel Qureshi was doing speaking engagements. He was writing books. He was trying to get a PhD in Oxford. He was having these lecture circuits, or he was traveling the country with these evangelical um, uh, churches and whatever. He was traveling to various churches. He was giving lectures, and he was writing books and articles, and he was trying to get an academic degree uh, or a PhD when he was 32 years old. And all of a sudden, he got cancer out of nowhere when he was 32 years old. Ahmed Deedat was 80 or 81 years old. I can't remember his exact, but I remember he was in his early 80s when he got his stroke diagnosis. So you see the difference between these two men. Um, Ahmed Deedat was, getting old. And when you get old, your health like naturally uh, declines, or you're more prone to diseases, etc., or you're more prone to vulnerability. Nabil Qureshi was 32 years old. He was healthy as a horse, and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, he gets stomach cancer. Like out of nowhere. Now, I'm not saying Nabil Qureshi is cursed or anything like that, but I'm just saying that because I don't know, I don't have the answers. But if you compare Ahmed Deedat and Nabil Qureshi, there's two major differences. One was advancing in age, while one was young and got cancer out of nowhere. So if Rob Christian wants to say Ahmed Deedat was cursed by God, well, that doesn't make any sense, because Ahmed Deedat had a long, good career as a debater and a writer, as a Muslim apologist. Nabil Qureshi didn't even reach the age of 40, and all of a sudden he gets cancer. I mean, like, look at this is like a night and day difference. Nabil Qureshi suffered at a young age out of nowhere, and he died 2 years later. Ahmed Deedat, was in his 80s when the stroke happened, or whatever. So there's a big difference here. So I don't know. I'm not saying the Bill Qureshi is cursed or anything. I don't know. I don't have the answers here. But if anybody's cursed, if you want to play the cursing game by God, it's probably Nabil Qureshi, not Ahmed Deedat. Now I'm not promoting that Nabil Qureshi was cursed, but just look at the difference. There's a difference here.